Roman.
Uh-oh.
It's time for the Early Bird Special. Bringing you the best stories from the world of sports and sports entertainment. Now, here are your hosts, Sparky and Burdick.
Welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special right here on 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, ESPN Bakersfield. And as always, it is time to talk with our guy, 24KG.
Yes, sir.
All things wrestling. Good, sir. How are you?
Doing good this Tuesday morning. You know, it's a lot going on in the world of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I'm pretty sure you guys have your hot takes on it. Let's crack it open like a can of that good Steve Weiser.
Well, see, you've already brought it up, so we might as well jump into this. The announcement on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, not a lot of wrestling fans very happy that we will be headed to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania in 2 years. Not this year, but in 2027. Thoughts on that first?
Well, you know, I figured that the UK would have gotten a WrestleMania first as far as it being out of the country. I am not surprised. That is culminating in Saudi because they've had this deal for about 10 years now. And I'm pretty sure a WrestleMania or two or a Royal Rumble, which we've already seen kind of, was in the cards for that to happen. Nonetheless, they can afford to do that over there. You know, they make it a whole 2-week spectacle. It's the top billing of the buck that they're going to get paid. Now, as far as the rumors that we're going to see Stone Cold come out of retirement, if you don't think that they've got enough money to get John Cena out of retirement, they're trying to pull, you know, whatever's possible to be possible. We might even see AEW be brought into the fold from, you know, the hot interwebs. I mean, seriously, if we could get Sting out of retirement to do Undertaker, I'd pay PLE money for that, even though, you know, they owe, but they still got enough kick in them. They could make it look good. AEW's hidden Sting's, age for a long time. So is WWE with Undertaker. So we might see people that we didn't think we would ever see back at that aspect, or even The Rock come out of retirement and give us that match with Roman Reigns. It's too much to really go down the rabbit hole of, so we'll see in time.
Well, I'll take my take. I really hope you're wrong with that one because I do not want to see any of those guys, and it'll kind of bounce off. I think they should have drew the line right there at Goldberg because Goldberg was just not enough for me to watch.
They got enough in the pocket to bring him back too, most definitely.
And I know The Rock, you know, he's lost a lot of muscle for doing a lot of the prep for some movies he's working on. I don't want to see The Rock, and I'm not too shocked with the Saudi Arabia announcement. I'm not really concerned about it. My only concern was how early do I have to get up to watch WrestleMania? But I mean, personally, as long as it's making money and we're gonna get a good show, I'm not upset about it. But when it comes to, like we talked about last week, where Burdick lost his mind talking about AJ Lee, and I'm like, there's certain points where we just gotta stop with bringing back these old wrestlers. I mean, because we have so much on these rosters that we're not even getting enough of these guys, the active wrestlers, to start, you know, bringing back the propaganda type, you know, the nostalgia type wrestlers. I mean, I think we've had enough. Let's just put on some good shows. And I mean, Friday night, I mean, I agree with you. Friday night show was awesome, and I'm not even a real big fan of that, but I sat there and watched it. You know, I was entertained, but if they start cross-pathing with AEW, I'm just going to have to turn the channel.
Look, there's enough money over there for them to do anything. And when I say anything, we might see Braun Strowman versus Omos again. We don't know what's going on. You know, it's ridiculous. Now, I didn't say any of these things were good. I just said I'm not surprised. You know, when it comes down to it, somebody's getting paid. And WWE is definitely going to be the first. And maybe, just maybe, after they get all this money, that those ticket prices will go back down. We could only hope. Hey, they might pull out a match with Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. If wishes are being granted, definitely John Cena's going to be there. He's not going to let anybody one-up him on that. So, come on.
No. Well, and I agree with you. I don't think we need these older wrestlers coming back. You probably will get Roman and Rock, but that's just because that's what they've been brewing for the last couple of years. Good luck getting Stone Cold back, though. That ain't happening. I
He's
don't think
got
there's enough
two
money in
new
the world.
bionic knees.
Look, man, I'm just saying.
They've
Like,
definitely been talking
the
about
only
it.
thing that we've seen, or at least we've heard of him coming back, would be Nevada. If he can't do a show in Vegas, then why is he flying all the way out to Saudi Arabia? You know what I mean?
Money.
Money talks.
I know, but again,
Ted DiBiase said it
man,
best. Everybody's got a price.
this is true. This is
Money,
very
money,
true.
money,
Thank you.
money.
Thank you. I was waiting for the laugh.
Wrestlepalooza this weekend. What are your thoughts, predictions? What should we be looking for going into that?
Well, I'd like to bring up something very interesting with the Bron Brons versus the Usos. We have gotten a lot of indications of just basically, straight up bloodline hints along the way of them reforming in some way, shape, or fashion. And I think that WWE realized maybe ending the bloodline the way they did was a bad move, especially now that seeing as how Triple H in 2026 has no storylines to fall back on that were in the previous era. So now, what are we going to do? All new things, and some things aren't working out with people, some things are. But one thing that was Avengers level to WWE was the bloodline. Now, can we get a reunited faction in some way, shape, or form with the new member? Hint, Jacob Fatu, who's been off of television for a while. I think we might see that. And I say that three times because might, whom he be on the phone with, was it Roman Reigns? We heard a check reference to no Ula follow around your neck when speaking to his brother, who he said, hey, you just can't. Gave no explanation. Great storyline. We might see Jacob Fatu join that and in that place. Would something happen with Sami Zayn and crossing over in SmackDown because he is a former Bloodline member? And might it be possible to see them join up or take that U.S. title off of Sammy if he doesn't fall in line and acknowledge what's going on? You think Roman, the storyline with this guy, ain't gonna kind of spin the block on the bloodline one more time? Like WWE isn't gonna squeeze the life out of that storyline like how they're known for doing?
And they're already stirring up the Uso versus Uso. They're already mixing in. And one thing I wanted to throw out there is the not only the mega intercontinental champ, Dom.
Oh yeah, my boy Dom.
But the standoff with Rusev going backstage was, I almost spit out my drink. I was like,
well, look, I'll tell you like this. It was either going to be AJ Styles or Rusev. I'm glad it's one of those guys, and Rusev deserves it.
Yes.
See, I think it's a better idea that it's Rusev because we haven't seen Dom go up against somebody of physical presence. You know what I mean?
The Judgment Day say that they're going to abandon him in the next match. The little fallout they had in the backstage segment was a great little Easter egg for the way they're feeling about his affiliation with the Americanos.
Do you think that we're going to get that King of the Luchadors ideal, the faction of all luchadors finally?
No, I think they're just going to jump them. Like, that's how it goes. Some old school WCW. We gonna act cool. Then we gonna jump you. Then we gonna have a match. You're gonna go to your friends for help. Your friends ain't gonna help you. Who you gonna rely on? Maybe your dad. We get some kind of Mysterio father and son going up against the Americanos and AAA. Anything is possible right now.
See, I don't know if you're gonna go that far.
We got the third one last night.
It could.
It's true. It's true. We did get the third one last night. But see, my thought is this. Say that the Judgment Day does do that. We blow it up, or at least with Dom, and they jump him. We don't see Dom on WWE television for quite some time. But that's because he's down in AAA, literally becoming the king of luchadors. And the next time we see Dom on actual WWE television, I say actual because obviously AAA isn't necessarily seen as a full-blown roster show yet, although it should be, to be honest with you. It could be the revamping of the Dom character that we desperately need. We finally see the Eddie Guerrero version of Dom, and not the cheating, lying, stealing version. The champion Eddie Guerrero, the formidable wrestler that Dominic Mysterio could be, because he's been doing this for 20 plus years. And if he comes back with a team full of formidable luchadors, you could see a invasion the size of NXT invasion from AAA coming into the main roster. And you can't sit there and say they don't have the names to do it. Pentagon, Mr. Iguana. I know there's a whole bunch that obviously from the WWE side that were there for Worlds Collide this last Friday, but they could be building Dom into literally one of the greatest mega champions ever.
Most definitely. Well, as long as they don't throw him in the LWO, he'll be fine.
Please don't. Yes.
What's going on with the LWO down there?
That
right
brings
now?
up the question because I was going to ask you guys
they,
what's going on with Andrade.
They're in
For that
AAA right now. Andrade got released. Talk of wellness violations, behavioral issues, whatnot, ghosting the company. That kind of just led to it because they don't really let people go in this fashion. So when it's something serious like this, I would assume that all the chances given plus his non-progression with English promos kind of held him back. He's a great talent. He's a great worker. He has a good relationship with CMLL. He has a great relationship with a lot of overseas indie companies and whatnot. I don't know if you would ever see him in TNA or AAA because of the affiliation with WWE right now, but he'll definitely land on his feet. But it's a shame to see the guy kind of pan out. The second way around kind of didn't work out for him, even though we've seen flares of the Andrade from NXT when he was a champion, when he had great matches against Drew McIntyre, this whole situation with Dragon Lee, and before that he was kind of courting the El Gato Fantasmas, those guys with the other Latin group that was really like the mob down there, and nothing happened with that. So to see the ball dropped on him twice is kind of disappointing, whether it was by his own hand or just circumstances. You can't really make an excuse with the opportunities WWE is giving you. You see a lot of second English as their second language wrestlers come into the company, like Stephanie McCure has been progressing in her English language promos rapidly. Asuka has even gotten better over the years. Shinsuke over the years, and example after example. So maybe that held him back, but man, in the ring, this guy could go. So it's just disappointing.
A name that I've noticed, at least, that's gotten a lot better in terms of getting better at English that they don't highlight is Julia.
Very much so.
Fantastic English promo on Friday with Kiana and stuff like that, setting up a BFAB that I was not expecting out of her at all. So I think a lot of these overseas wrestlers are starting to get the hint that you kind of need to do this in order to be marketable in this company.
Yeah.
Well, to change
when from the international waters, you got to adapt.
Yeah, definitely. And with the same thing with Stephanie Vecchia, but I'll use that to go into Raw last night. We got to see, the pumped up John Cena, which he mentioned, only 6 more appearances. And we finally got Bayley out in the ring, which was very strange, but even weirder. Even weirder when she got in the back and Lyra followed up with her, and I was like, okay, this is getting a little silly. And
at this point, can we just don a cape and like a mask for her and just call her the Hugger?
Right.
It's something going on right there.
Please, something.
I think shades of Bayley that resemble a lot of Wyatt-isms is kind of the thing that whomever stuck this on her, she's like, whatever, I'll go with whatever. There's no time that we could say that's left on her contract that we could kind of guesstimate what's really going on, and this might be her send-off to greener pastures or just another opportunity. She's been great. I don't understand who's writing this garbage right now for her. I feel bad for her. Bayley has always been one of my favorites. You see it in the ring. She got it, man. She got the pop that she got. She's ready for an opportunity. And it's kind of, once again, seeing her wasted makes you scratch your head like, what's going on back there in creative? Some things are just not going over that maybe sound good in a meeting, maybe look good on paper. Maybe the talent can execute it, but it's just not clicking right now.
Yeah, it is.
They're too busy with AJ Lee.
And I was going to say the same thing.
New toy, man. Hey, old new toy. The new model. Nostalgia. Gets you every time.
It was.
See, but that's the thing.
Snore fest.
That's what I'm saying. 2025 wrestling should not be 2015 wrestling.
This is why we have too many Transformers movies.
Exactly. See, does anybody need another Transformer?
No, but we'll take it. Especially if Michael Bay's directed it. Come on, man. I'll take it.
I don't think we'll take it this time. I think I'm gonna have to pass.
Hey,
on
they gotta give me something, man. They just pushed Mortal Kombat back till like next year, so I gotta get something.
Well, with the Stephanie Becker returning, she was. I liked her shirt saying, wrestling is my first language was dope. But
great.
With that whole whatever story they're going with Stephanie and how they brought in, Rhea to kind of put the seasoning in, how she's going to follow whoever wins the title. It almost feels like it's already set that Stephanie's going to take this title and we're going to get, a Stephanie Rhea match. And while Io and and Asuka will probably go into their own ways in their own little feud, but do you see something maybe where Asuka kind of screws up that match for her?
I definitely have been thinking that because the way it's becoming so obvious, they almost make you feel like, okay, like you just said, Stephanie's a lock for this. That's what's going to happen. I think we get a smosh finish. It leads to a fatal four-way at another PLE. Maybe what do we have coming up after this? Perth, something like that, whatever, wherever they are internationally. And stretch it out with this vacant women's title as long as possible and then culminate at something that they could really just milk and cash in on with whomever it is. And we know it's going to be Stephanie, but I think they want to take you on a little ride and have us see her chase, which we have kind of seen her in the position of, but not with this push. So now that it's definite, it could go down at Wrestlepalooza and she walks away with that title because they need somebody with it. They need that visibly on TV. It moves merch, and that might be the case. But if not,
drag it along
we'll
the way.
See some kind of, we'll see some kind of progression of a match with more people.
What are your thoughts on Liv getting in this? I mean, we saw her during this entire announcement.
She's about due for a return. I wouldn't be surprised. She's about due for a return. She's been rehabbing ahead of schedule. That John Cena program. Oh, you're going to be out for this many months. Now I'm back in a few weeks. That's my check.
It's like,
so I'm glad to see her doing her thing. But where does she fit in this storyline? And do we see a unraveling of the Judgment Day as soon as she reappears?
See, my thing is that she's got an instant connection to the championship because she obviously was a former champion and never really lost it. But at this point, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like the WWE would have put her dead center. Now, granted, she is the Queen of the Ring, and Cody isn't available for the King of the Ring, so he can't be there to be the face. But dead center, right behind Triple H, and she hasn't been on TV in months. She's been dealing with an injury. That tells me she's right around the corner.
Hey, I'm telling you, anytime now. When when the butter's in the pan, you gotta throw the meat in and get to cooking. And right now they season it. It's about to happen.
And there was a report this morning that came out says Tiffy isn't medically cleared. Is this true? Is this something that they're a story with this, or is this?
We never know these days,
right?
But there was some speculation about after her match with Jade Cargill that she was a little banged up. She took a spill on the floor that they're kind of telling her from a move you might want to chill out on. I get it. Go hard, go home.
That was a hell of a match, too.
Let's keep longevity in the, focus and foresight for the foreseeable future, because nobody likes to see great talent get hurt, take a spill, or slow down their career due to injury. So, we're all the best to Tiffy right there.
You know what they're doing? They're just sizing her up for her El Grande Americano mask so she can be the female version for this all El Grande.
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Team her up with
El Grande Americano. Hey, however it's going, they got to milk it, man.
Dude, at some point, that was a pretty funny. They finally did the Spider-Man meme. I was like, when are you going to do that?
Come on.
Everybody's just pointing at each other.
It was fantastic.
Well, that
was coming sooner or later.
We're going to go back to SmackDown. What did you think about the return of Cody?
Well, I put it like this, man. Cody's no slouch. But just because he was off filming a movie, I don't think that he was sitting around drinking Wheatleys. And it looks like he's in ring shape, ready to go. So I'm happy to see that they had to do something before this feud with Drew culminates. He was what were they talking about? He hadn't defended the title in almost 40 days, blah, 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 whatever it goes down. Put it like this. He's going to deliver. It's going to be a banger of a match. and that's about time. I wish they would have had more promo leading up to it because a feud between them deserves a little bit more time than just a Friday go home show on SmackDown or a week before with an appearance. We, I think, as fans, felt like we were getting more, but WWE is going to cram in as much as they can. These are guys, Drew and Cody, that appear in regular segments maybe 4 times a night between a
Hmm.
3 or 2 hour show. So we're going to get fed some storyline progression, I believe, in a rapid pace this Friday before Wrestlepalooza.
Dude, at this point, though, like I think Drew McIntyre is really the only one on that show that can be the villain for Cody until
Only
you
legit
maybe
contender.
Brock over
We've got Damian Priest, who's been out with injury. Jacob Fatu is a tweener and has been out, well, off TV for a while now, about a month. Um,
But do
who
either of those
else?
men really
That's
scream
credible as a
villain to
feud.
you anymore?
No, these guys are contenders, not heels.
Right.
So as far as it comes down to contenders, we're getting NXT tonight, Homecoming. I felt like Carmelo Hayes had potential, but it still does. Great guy. The match with him and Cody earlier, what was it, last year or whatnot, was a
Mhm.
great starting point for him. And then they kind of just, let him fall by the wayside. He ended up with Miz. We don't even know what's going on with that storyline anymore. We see them tagging, we see them feuding one week, then we see this, that, and the other. It's hard to keep up with. Nonetheless, everybody turns on this. So we know this is going to happen at certain points. Will they give him a push that Carmelo I know can carry? I hope
Mhm.
so. Because the next coming is Shawn Michaels in certain flashes. He's got it. Will he rise to those occasions that they see him really headlining in down the road?
Mhm.
Possibly. I also hope so, and I think he can deliver that. But for now, man, we need more heels on SmackDown. We need people to give Cody problems. We can't just run him back. We can't run it back to Brock Lesnar. We can't keep running back to other people. Maybe somebody will come over from Raw, cause an issue. We'll see. But man, it's not looking good over there in the heel department.
So quick little, and not really a segue, but a little bit of cap on one. I agree with you when it comes to Carmelo, but I love the side by side that we're getting from Carmelo and Braun Breaker's first potential
Yeah.
title run, which we actually talked about months ago. Again, by the way, we figured
Hmm.
Carmelo Anthony would be getting the rub with the U.S. title when Braun got the Intercontinental. It's coming about a year and a half later, but it is what it is. But the thought that kind of popped up in my head when you were talking about it, because I think you said something beautiful there. Damian, Jacob, I mean, The Miz, you can throw him in on this. Should we kind of abandon the idea of the title of the heel and face thing with wrestling, and should WWE just move towards a contender idea? Because
Most
the name
definitely.
contender can be either or, right? It could be a good or a bad thing. You could be a good or a bad guy at any point in time. You don't need to put an actual title on it. I know how wrestling works with the storylines. You need a good and a bad guy. But if you just kind of erase that moniker and say, you know what, no, everybody's a contender for a
It'll
certain
work.
title, it might work out better.
Back in the day, not too far back in the day, I don't want to, sound like one of those guys like, hey, Shuddy, but when we watched wrestling, they used to have number one contender matches,
Right.
tournaments. This is how we fell in love with the work of Bret Hart, British Bulldog, Jake the Snake, and so forth, of a golden era of where work rate was rewarded.
And just like what they
Now, if
did
we
with the
get back
women.
to that,
Mhm.
hey, exactly. If we get back to that just a smidge, what we just spoke on, I think could really move forward viewership and interest in the product where it's really being scrutinized for overpricing, repetitive storylines, uh, go big or go home events where literally if I go big at this event, I won't have a home to go to. It costs so much. So,
Right.
when it comes down to your rent or a WWE event, a lot of people are going to opt to watch it at home now. But even at home, with what we're getting, somewhat super satisfactory, there are chinks in the armor that are apparent and showing right now. So the verbiage of a contender could go a long way. And if somebody out there in WWE World Production is hearing this, you know, KG, Sparky, Chris, Early Bird Special, you know, said it first.
They'll never give us the credit for it, but I mean, hey, it's
I know,
always a
but
nice.
still, we got to put it out there. Speak it into the universe.
Real quick, with the last couple minutes we got, any final predictions for Wrestlepalooza this weekend? Is Seth and Becky going to survive this onslaught from CM Punk and AJ? What are your thoughts?
Well, AJ took the manhandle slam, so you know how that goes when you see the face kind of get kicked in the old shins right there. They're usually going to win the PLE, so I give it to Punk and AJ Lee for the pop. John Cena, we're going to see him go to Suplex City. This is going to be a rough one. I think he pulls it out, goes ahead and gets his hand raised. Maybe a handshake and acknowledgement between the both of him and Brock Lesnar for a good career, buddy. It's been great working with you. We'll probably see a nostalgia moment or some type of moment like Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and Triple H had at WrestleMania where they walked out of the cell together. Something like that. As far as the other matches with what we got going on, I definitely think Stephanie, if it doesn't end in a crazy finish, is coming out of there with the women's title. And what else do we got going on there at Wrestlepalooza? They stacked that card pretty good there.
And so I need to look up the rest of them. But those are the main three that we really needed to talk about, to be honest with you. But
Sami Zayn defending that U.S. title?
The Brock Lesnar John Cena match, is this the last one? I know we only got 6 appearances left.
I would hope so, unless the Saudis pull a dump truck up to John Cena's house and let the cash flow just all in his driveway, burying cars. I think that's the only way we'll see another one. It's got to be a ridiculous amount of money. I'm talking so disrespectful that generational wealth don't even apply to the term. Like, you can't turn this down.
Yeah, and the only other match I see on that fight card is Cody and Drew.
That's right.
Oh, there we go. Raw wasn't really stacked with the matches last night. We got a lot of storyline progression. So we had about 4 or 5 matches, a lot of segueing into what's going on with LA Knight, the Usos, the Beckys. Yeah, I mean the Baileys, as what's going on, whoever she was talking to in there.
The Grandes.
That was, something. Yeah, the Grandes. The emergence of Rusev as a contender.
The other one was
gratifying.
Penta and Kofi.
Oh man, let's give it to Xavier Woods knowing how to just get on people's nerves, man. I will give it to this guy.
Morning Woods.
He's doing great. Yes, he's in morning.
Morning.
Yes, he's doing a great job right now, man. And just shouts to the New Day. Grayson Waller being a grief counselor. It's things that I didn't think would work that would make me laugh or smirk. I'm just like, hey, keep it up, guys. Whoever's pitching that, if you guys are doing your own, cool. I would like to see them. Since the Usos are back, maybe we'll actually get a run back with the New Day and the Usos at some point, because that was just one of the best tag team feuds of the last couple of years. And hey, whatever's going to happen with that, it's going to happen. So can't expect too much.
No, but I would love to see them running back. You're right. It's one of the best tag team rivalries of all time. And for those of you who are following Dom's mega championship run as well, seems like he'll be running into Penta very, very soon down there in AAA, which is going to be a way bigger monster than watching him on Raw or SmackDown. We have run out of time, though, my friend. Thank you so much for your time, as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. You guys take care. And you already know.